learning school. So I'm logged into our technology training account, and you can see that we've got a couple emails, one from myself and one from Mrs. Stratton. Then there are 3 there that pertain to Gmail. You can see over here on the left that I don't actually have any labels set up or filters set up at the time. So a couple of ideas that you might consider. You want to set up labels, obviously, to organize your inbox, but you don't want them to take over your inbox necessarily. So I would encourage you to consider nesting. But I do think one of the first things you want to do is set up a label for parents. So if you'll stay down here, and some of you might have to drag this down, we're going to click on more. I'm going to create a new label, and I'm going to call it Parents. I'm not going to nest it under anything. I'm just going to leave it as it is. Depending on what your mood for parents is right now, you probably definitely want to attach a color to it. And we're not going to set up a filter with parents at this point, because you'd have to put every one of your parents' emails in order to make that effective. But it will give you a place to move emails to, and be able to find them later. You can see my parents' email or label, is right here. Now, one of the other things that I would do is set up an email or a label for my principal, because I want to make sure that I save all of those emails, because hopefully they do pertain important information. So once again, this time let's click in the actual email, and we're going to create the filter from here. I'm going to go up to label. I don't have one yet, so I'm going to create new, and I'm going to call it principal. I'm not going to nest it under anything. I'm going to create. Now, I do want to make sure that I see all the emails I get from my principal, so I am going to create a filter this time. So I'm going to go up to my Options tab, Mail Settings, and click Filters. And I'm going to create a new filter. So this one, I know who it's going to come from. And I'm just going to leave it as is, because I just wanted to grab any emails from my principal. I don't want it to skip my inbox and go to a label folder off to the side, because I'm afraid I won't see it. I do want it to apply the label principal to it. I don't want to forward anything. That's really all I want to do. Now notice here, I do want to apply it to the one matching conversation I have. I'm going to hit create. And that is done. So I'm going to go back to my inbox, and you can see that it's grabbed my label. If I add a color to it, it will actually put a color on it. And now anytime that I get an email from my principal, it's going to automatically come in with this label on it, which is visually makes it easy to see and kind of grab those important emails. So other labels you might consider adding would be labels from your team. You might create a team label so that you can start. Actually, I'm not going to nest that. Create. And again, I would set up a filter so that anytime I got an email from a member of my team, I would simply add them in. For me, you can also go up to the more, filter messages like these. I'm going to add Mr. Dyer and Scott. And I will apply a label. Team. Create. So now in the future, when those emails come in, they will automatically be tagged with that team label. I'm going to change that color so it's not like a different one. The other thing I would encourage you to do, there's lots of events that take place in the school, so I think it would be helpful to have an event label. So I'm going to create a label called Events. I'm not going to nest it, but underneath that you can see I've sent myself a label here for Field Day. Now, this is one that I would nest, as these open houses and the various awards assemblies, all the things that take place here. So I'm going to create my new label, and I'm going to call this one Field Day, and I will nest it under the Events tab. And I'll go to Create. Now you can see I have the little down arrow, or the arrow here. When I turn it down, Field Day will show up. One thing you might also consider is to not nest these labels while the event is taking place. So I'm going to edit it. I'm going to take the nest off of it. Now you can see it just appears out as a normal event, but once the event passes, I may decide, you know what, I do want to go ahead and nest that. It's passed, I don't need to see it as often anymore. Click on the menu, edit it, and then I would add it back in now that I'm not using it as often. So just wanted to give you some tips on how you might set it up from a teaching standpoint concerning the people that you interact with. Thank you.